Okay, now, from here, once you get the metaphysics, and you have to now understand how to run a government, you need the civics. Through the civics, you begin to remember something called the ancient code of kings. How are kings in the natural kingdom of earth selected versus how do they artificially select them? Right? Mm-hmm. So they put artificial kings that they call presidents and CEOs out in the public, and the real kings remain Amun, the hidden ones. You let the ones who was the newest addition to the human family had an opportunity to rule as long as they don't spill too much blood in the process of learning how to treat other people, because eventually you're going to want to treat people to treat you the way that you treated. You understand that all of the rules to life is in the board games?
Right. Go ahead.
But the only ones who's going to get the rules from the board games is the one who have valuable family time to play the games on the board.
Exactly. That's why I got Monopoly.
Once you absorb the rules to the board games, later on in life, you will find yourself in a condition to be bored to play the game of life.
I like how you
because the idle mind that they call the devil's workshop is also the workshop of God. This is where they play the game of masterminds from the position of mind. It's mind over the matter. That means the fifth dimensional chessboard is spiritually fought, not physically.
Mm-hmm.
For the gods, this is a game. But for the mortals, this is misery.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So only if the righteous gods defeat the unrighteous gods will we have a switch flipped on the board to a new game. It's been checkmate. But now we have to have what was done above to be seen below.
Mm-hmm.
It has to reflect. It's rolled out according to a galactic clock, Charles Moseley Bay, clock of destiny. Once it's rolled out on that galactic clock, you have to understand your tribal ways, Hakeem Bey reference. Once you understand your tribal ways, then you're going to tune in to the metaphysical application of the tribal ways in order for you to perceive reality. C. Freeman Hill, Metaphysics, understanding what a Mason is from a Moorish perspective.
Right. I think I got that book.
Okay, now, from here, once you get the metaphysics, and you have to now understand how to run a government, you need the civics. Through the civics, you begin to remember something called the ancient code of kings. How are kings in the natural kingdom of earth selected versus how do they artificially select them? Right? Mm-hmm. So they put artificial kings that they call presidents and CEOs out in the public, and the real kings remain Amun, the hidden ones. You let the ones who was the newest addition to the human family had an opportunity to rule as long as they don't spill too much blood in the process of learning how to treat other people, because eventually you're going to want to treat people to treat you the way that you treated them. And so you need to learn how to treat them before they get in the position of power to rule over you.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are in the position where the ones who we mishandled when we ruled over them has been instructed to deliberately mishandle us by Yakub himself, because he don't like the way we being handled.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now they come along and they get to handle us because Yakub said so.
Mm-hmm.
Yakub is Jacob. Jacob the supplanter. The supplanter is the one who undermines. The underminer is the child of the one we call Yahweh. Yahweh is Enlil.
That's right.
That's just simple as the connection. So the Jacobites or the Jacobites or Yakub's artificial creation is the children of Enlil that they created and mistreated. And then mama say the good got to sometimes suffer with the bad. But don't worry, because trouble don't last always.
Right. That's right.
Right. So when I started pointing out the chiefs on the land, and my mama go see them for herself because I sent her the pops. I sent her to go see Malachi. Right? We discussed Farrakhan. We know what's going on. But they don't know that I know to the level that I know the shit that I know, that I could put this shit together like this on a zigzag zig, knock to a knockback across the land off every man who stood his motherfucking ground and did not fold. We guerrilla knocking all across the land from east to west, from north to south. Now that's the news we getting out. And the guerrilla clan is the final clan to come and establish the land. And that's a sea walk on the crooked man walking across the land. Yeah. But he's followed by this big red bull, a Brahma bull, right? Angel Bay. And they are represented by the statesman, right? The one with the charisma and the one with the influence to draw the youth together, right? And his name, we call him Larry Hoover. But Larry Hoover had accepted a higher position than being what we call a gang leader to become a regular guy and a spokesman for the tribes when they need him. That's all he wants. If y'all need me, I'll come speak to the children. If y'all don't need me, I will be with my family. That's what his life gonna be like from here on out. And my job is to try to make sure that before they need him, that they can use me in his place. Right? And the same go with Malachi York. And the same go with H. Rap Brown or Mumia Abu Jamal or Asada Shakur. Hands off our motherfucking elders. They elders now. They fought the struggle when it was time to fight. It's our time to bring this shit back home. Feathers and one this bitch. Pack your fans up. Put that motherfucker under your bed because you won't need it no more.
Just take fire.
So when I tell these motherfuckers that we came from all over the land, I done proved it. From what the shit that they told us.
Right. Off what they see.
Yeah. They told the story. I just showed you what it said. And then told you what it means according to how we told the story. You see, because we can't stay conquered. That's against the law of nature. How you gonna have the motherfuckers whose job it is to clean this shit up be subjugated?
Right.
And we know under the divine right of kings that you can't rise to kingship as a bond servant. So you can't be a prisoner. Right? But you can be an ex-con with a GED. That's a guerrilla educational degree, if you ask me. Right? Because you got to be a self-raised master to be the master of masters. And they say that's the story of Hiram Abiff. And so Hiram is raised. Crooked man walking across the land. Right? All nations, the red and the white and the blue, the black and the gold. Right? The silver and the gold. All other clans is on deck. Right? So they flipped us colors out in black, what we call liberation movements throughout the years. Here we see Empress Verdiasi, Tierra Gastonel Bay, who took these motherfuckers and said, why y'all not honoring the treaties? In 1993, the United Nations Center for Human Rights recognized the Washita Dudong Damania Moor Empire. Now you notice how she spelled Moor.
She spelled Moor.
M-U-R-R.
Yeah. M-U-R-R. Yeah, not M-U-U-R-R. Yeah.
Empire as the oldest indigenous group of people on Earth. The registered project number is 215/93. These Native American tribes are, now look, see, why did the spelling change?
The year, right? 1993.
Yeah, but why did the spelling change in Moors? Who changed the spelling?
Yeah, right.
Right, now look what they say. Washita, Yamasee, Iroquois, Cherokee, Choctaw, Blackfoot, Pequot, and Mohegan. But one problem about the Cherokee. Let's go to Google.
All right, I got you.
Look up etymology of Cherokee. Because it's not going to be Cherokee in our language. Okay, Bezel, you own it. but they're trying to trick us, and we ain't falling for it.
Okay, it means most likely Cherokees and anonym. Hold up, Argent North America. Hold up, boom, boom. Let's see. Maybe I give it right here. The Iroquois language. It's a term from the Iroquois language meaning. Oh, well, it don't say what it means. Just gave tar ar guy gi. I be fucking up them. Tar. Can you see that?
I can't see it.
Man, that's all I got. Hold on. It says it's an Iroquois language word, which means hold up. Those
Saragi.
who live in the cave. Those who live in the cave.
Saragi. That's what they call them.
Saragi, for those who live in the cave.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Now you know the cave was the Pueblo villages on the side of the mountains.
Yeah. Those and like those
grottos is what it's called.
Yeah, you want me to pull a picture up of that so they can see it?
You pull up the meaning of the word grotto.
Okay, let's do that.
It's Grotto.
Grotto. All right, grotto. Grotto. Let's see. Okay, let me just type in the meaning of the word grotto. See if that pulls it. Caves. It says an artificial structure made into resemble a natural cave.
Now pull up the Pueblo village.
All right. I know I looked up Pueblo yesterday. It means village, just like you said.
They keep saying that we just disappeared. We didn't fucking disappear. They just paper genocided us and said we came on slave ships.
What's up with Pueblo? Oh, these are $5 Indian. These $5 Indian tribes, the Cherokee, the Pablo. See, I knew that.
They made up names. That's why I'm pointing this shit out, because they made it. They telling you the tribe whose name they was covering up.
Right here, they go pictures. You want to see the read up on them?
Go second row, far right.
Okay, hold on. Go back. Second row, far right. All right, right here. The pictures right here. We downloaded these pictures.
Yeah, that right there. That's it.
Uh-huh.
We had villages like this. You know, when it's hundreds, it's 100 and something
Grand
degrees.
Canyon.
It's 100 and something degrees, man. Those caves right there got air conditioning in them.
Yep, that's right.
They automatically air conditioned. That's why we live there. But when our brethren said there's a war going on in the land of the flowers, pull up a map of Florida and put the year 1400 behind it. Raphael, we know that the slaves that came on the ships, and we know who they was and who they wasn't. We know that it wasn't until the Berlin Conference did they divide Africa and invade Africa, but they was already invading us at that time. And we already know that they rewrote the history to control the narrative that we ain't shit, ain't been shit, ain't gonna be shit. So I'm here to tell y'all that we took all that shit that we ain't gonna be, wasn't gonna become, and we turned that shit into fertilizer and raised up on their ass, arose from the concrete, motherfucker. Fuck my tattered goddamn motherfucking leaves, bitch, I rose.
You like that one right there?
It's going all the way to Louisiana. You see, that's where the drain to the Mississippi River is on the far left side of the picture.
Right here.
Right. Now, all of that's Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But now part of it is Georgia, Alabama, and Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
That was the land of the flowers before the settlers came. We had forest trees was down there. There's none in the Amazon rainforest to rival them.
Yeah, tropical area, yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of trees there. The trees The women used to decorate the trees with vines that grew flowers at the top of the trees, right? And they used to use the trees they used to carve flower pots in them and grow vegetation so they don't have to come out of the treetops.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fire.
Those are called the Skywalker clans. That's who they got Luke Skywalker name from. The Zulu means Skywalkers. Let's go to Google. Let's look up what the meaning of Zulu is.
All right, I got you.
You had Skywalker clans all around the world. Their color is generally pale blue. We're going to show y'all some treetop villages before we get out of here because we need to know the topography that I'm talking about. But first is a certain little stuff that you got to know what you're looking at. What we pulling up now, Elder?
Mean the Zulu.
Okay.
The word literally means people of the sky.
There you go.
Damn. Yeah.
They mirror clan over here is called Hopi.
Yep, the Hopi. There you go right here.
Okay, now go back to Google.
Look, they got the same clothes on as the Hopi right here. These Zulu. Or Zulu got the same as them, the same people, right? All right, let's go back to Google.
No, they mirror clans. They're not the same people. They mirror.
Yeah, right. That's right. That's right. Go ahead. Where you want me to go now?
Okay, now pull up Treetop Village. They still got some.
It's a game banger called the Pyrus and
Treetop Pyrus.
Yeah, Treetop Pyrus. That's them. They come from that shit too.
Yep. The name is all tied back to the tribal meaning of who they are.
Damn, that's crazy. Treetop, these guys right here. What you want me to pull up right here? This right here.
The third picture at the top from the left.
Okay, hold on. Let me get them. Let me save it in there.
All the way to the top, bro. Third picture right from here. The left. I think that. No, right that ain't them. They got scaffolding. Right here. They got village. Those are huts. These are some of the treetop villages. Okay, so we're gonna get a couple of different pictures. Let's say huts. Save that picture and have you put in something else.
Okay. So
next, treetop village scaffold. SCAFFOLD.
Oh, maybe hold on. That's what I might type in wrong. Village. Okay, now let's try it. Okay,
I wanted to get an idea. See how they walking through the treetops like that?
Yeah.
These are Skywalker clans. These ancient Skywalker clans.
Yeah. Okay, all right, go ahead, man.
Now, a lot of us don't know it, but the California redwood, there was trees that made them look little. That right there.
Right there.
That's how we lived in the villages and the treetops.
A car can drive through one of those trees in California. That's how big they is. You can drive.
Yeah, those are little trees compared to what used to be here. These villages. We want them to see these villages in the treetops because this was what was in Florida. This is the stuff. These was all down in Louisiana. This one right here. These was all down in Louisiana. That's up in the bayou. That's what they used to look like. Similar to that. This is a different architectural style. This look more Asian than ours. But to give people an understanding of how we was living in Florida before they started them big ass forest fires and shit to burn us out in war.
Like this. So the deer stand idea and all that come from this shit. Like, hold on, right here, like this right here, paint. It's a good paint right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go pull the pictures up so we can get a good look at them.
Okay, I got you.
You know, this is what the land was like in the South. This was extended. You used to be able to walk from Louisiana to the Florida Keys in the treetops like this without never touching the ground.
Damn.
These was the huts that they had in top. These look like that the people moved out and they since became overgrown.
Yeah, that's right.
But But this is huts that they used to live in, huts like this all through Florida.
I never heard of the treetop people, man. This shit is fire. This shit is fire.
Southern Georgia, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. We had people living in villages like this when the settlers came.
This shit is fire, bro.
Let's look at some more pictures. Let's go through them. Right? This is how we would connect family structures together. Like the ones on the left and the right, those might be living quarters, but this might be the community eating cafeteria and shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Because when they cook food, they had a controlled location to cook so they didn't catch nothing on fire. And they had been doing this shit for thousands of years.
Yeah.
They never burnt us up. The women they never caused forest fires. They probably did in the early days. But we was up in the treetops for thousands of years. That's why Pyru is a Crip motherfucking with the U on his side spelled backwards. They telling you what the fuck these motherfuckers did. This Tukey people. Go to another one. Let's look at another one.
The treetop Pyrus, man. They don't even know what they I hope some treetop Pyrus watching this shit to say, damn, we probably didn't even know their history. They don't even know that shit about their history.
Listen, Tukey is what you call a double-headed king. When he started the Crips, him and Raymond Washington, by default, it made the Bloods form. So they became the mirror opposites of each other, destined to clash until Tukey can straighten it out. He got to make amends with the Red House. You see, this was how we used to, this was normal. This was a normal trip to probably to the little village school or something. Well, we didn't call them schools, but to the village training grounds. Mama walking the baby, Pop's following them. He finna make a left to go to the hunting park, and she finna make a right, take the children where they finna go and sit with the elders and learn their lessons for the day.
Now, what you said made us want to go become Skywalkers, like some of the clans?
We just naturally gravitated toward living in nature, with nature, off nature.
Yeah, stop walking on the ground, pretty much.
Well, no, it wasn't to stop walking on the ground, right? It was like some people live in skyscrapers, some people live in a ranch house.
Okay.
This is what it is. So now, all of the people that have the attraction to the skyscraper, they don't get the view that these people get. Right. So they became Skywalkers. They come down out of the trees, but they do it on their terms for ritual purposes. As in, they might come down for grounding rituals. I'm gonna go get some drink.
Oh yeah, hey, you dropping some juice, because I ain't never heard of the like I heard terms flew around like Skywalker this, Skywalker that, but I ain't never make a connection with there was some of our native tribes who actually went up in trees and started connecting these Skywalkers together and all their huts, and they make a lot of sense. Now, it's a whole bunch of shit just going on through my mind on other shit that I knew that I didn't put together about these people living up in these trees.
And what we have been told or led to believe by mainstream media has been only there to confuse us, mislead us, and turn us on one another. So if we're going to ever get to a point of liberation, of freedom from all of this oppression, one thing we're going to have to do is get past jumping to assault each other openly and in public without cause, and no one's doing that to us. So what happens in the community is people begin to speak on things because it look a certain way. But if you understood the divide and conquer mechanism and how it works, you would know that the whole system is set up to turn us against each other. And when you start to mix the rules of the street
with investigative reporting, you can ask the wrong questions that can get somebody severely hurt. And that's what made me bring up James Prince, because there was a situation similar to what young Pharaoh's doing with the nation in Farrakhan. He's not really understanding what he's doing, so I'm going to touch on some of it. But until I talk to certain people, I can't openly disclose a lot of information that I will be able to once I made those ends connect. So where we finna go with this is we're going to start with what happened with the J. Prince scenario. All right. A few months back, James Prince released a tweet when one of his people was robbed in New York. And he told the people in Brooklyn, or he asked them rather, if any of them knew who this was, if this was their people, and to sit down with him or, check on it so that they can get an understanding. And I heard several different YouTube channels ask if James Prince was snitching by putting that tweet out. So everybody in the streets, I'm not talking about music industry types, I'm not talking about businessmen, I'm talking about anyone who is in the streets that deal with day-to-day street life. They will understand that what J. Prince done was necessary. He had to address it publicly because the gentleman that did the robbery put it on social media publicly. If he doesn't say anything publicly about it and give the people who are the OGs in that area the opportunity to clean it up, then James Prince would not be following the rules. So what was James Prince doing? In the tweet, he basically told New York, specifically Brooklyn, where the guys that was from, that committed the act, and posted it on social media. Now, nobody had never heard of James Prince going out public and openly addressing the issues that he was dealing with in the streets. He never talked street business publicly. So why would he come out after never revealing himself publicly and all of a sudden release a tweet addressing openly street matters publicly? The reason for that is this. James Prince know the rules of the street. All right? So he know that as soon as they made that public, he obligated now to address it publicly. And y'all got to pay attention because this is how the reporters can get somebody hurt. Now, the reporter's presumption was that he might be snitching by putting out that tweet, which is nothing further from the truth. You can't snitch on somebody that told on themselves, first of all. Second of all, the video that the guys put up of them taking the Rap-A-Lot chain from this guy, cutting this guy's face up, was a direct humiliation on an OG in any hood. So you can't do that to an OG nowhere. Now, everybody in the streets know that James Prince is known for following what they call the code of respect. So following the code of respect, he have to address this matter, and he have to do it publicly because these boys put this stuff into the social media in a public forum. So James Prince addressed it publicly. So before I go any further, I'm going to say hi to the family up in here, checking me out, trying to get this stuff situated where we can stop going at each other's head and we can clean up this mess that they laid down in Babylon on this divide and conquer. So I'm going to say for all of y'all that's here now, greetings. I'm glad y'all here. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of different greetings from everybody because they already know I speak. I'm from the hood, from the block. I say, what's up? What's up? That's everybody. That's the Muslim Assalamu Alaikum and the Rahubats. That's all that in the what's up. So if y'all get offended because I didn't use your term of address, then I can't control that. But I can say what's up, how y'all doing, and much love. So when we get back to this situation, now what did the media types do? They begin to put pressure on OGs in the street to come out and make statements. Nobody was ever supposed to issue a tweet, a verbal response, or an interview dealing with the tweet from James Prince. Because he had to put it out there publicly, they was just supposed to go handle their business, check their family, make sure that they was clean, and leave it alone. Now, if somebody found out it was in their family, they were supposed to address it publicly. That matter that was done in Brooklyn where the boy got robbed for the Rap-A-Lot chain came out of my clique, and we ain't know nothing about it. But it's straight now. We took care of that. That's how they were supposed to handle it. Whereas that's why he said we have to get an understanding. He ain't threatened nobody. He didn't say nobody did anything other than whatever is going on up there, those I respect, and he hashtagged them all. But none of them was supposed to openly and publicly respond if they following the code of the street. They was just supposed to go check their camps. Individuals check their camps. Now, their response was, if anything, at most, a phone call to James Prince, hey, this is my son, the general, my camp clean, baby, I'll holler at you later. That's the end of the conversation. It wasn't supposed to be a whole drug out thing. And these reporters, by forcing people like Fat Joe to make a verbal response, by continuously asking them about it, is putting his life in danger. It's not putting his life in danger from Jay Prince. It's putting his life in danger from OGs from his area. Because they already know the rules, and they're going by the rules. And this is how we end up in this situation, which is going to take me to the young Pharaoh situation next. Because if we follow the rules, we won't have these issues. And people always got something to say about somebody else's business without really understanding what it is that they're addressing. So the street rules become imperative to understand in social media and investigative reporting. Because you're not supposed to ask people from the street about street things so you can put it out in the public domain and get somebody hurt. So y'all got to understand this. You can seriously have a person's life snatched from them by putting the wrong stuff on social media and putting the wrong stuff in an investigative report in a documentary. Now, I did a video a couple months ago, about a month and a half ago, about Tupac. I had to take the video down because it put somebody's life in danger. And later on, once I was able to know that that person was secured, I was given permission to put it back up. So I posted it back up with an explanation. So what did young Pharaoh do to prompt me to give this address? Now, I hope somebody tagged him on the video that I was going to be coming on here because I want him to see this. I am very, very proud of young Pharaoh to begin with for his courage and for his determination to deliver what he perceived as the truth against all odds, because he don't even understand the odds he's facing when he's addressing certain issue, or he have the courage to withstand the backlash of those odds. And his delivery style remind me of me when I was his age. It's raw, it's untempered, and it's also lack the depth that his elders around him should be feeding him unless they surface dwellers. Because when you surface dwelling, you can't get to the bottom of anything. And so young Pharaoh did two speeches. The first one, he said that Farrakhan was clout chasing at the Nipsey Hussle send-off ceremony. He don't know what he's talking about because he do not understand that this is bigger than that. Ceremony was more than just what you would call in modern America a funeral. That wasn't just a funeral. And I'm not going to go too much into that right now because I touched on it in the Tupac video. The second